Now, believe it or not, I really used to struggle making content. And then I came across Jasper AI, or is it Jarvis? No, Jasper. In fact, it used to be called Jarvis until they got threatened with a lawsuit. Anyway, Jasper was great. And even though it was a great tool, it used to cost some dollars each month. So I couldn't believe it when OpenAI came out with their new chatbot, ChatGPT, and I've been using it for a little over a year now, and it's great. However, I didn't realize they could outdo themselves with an upgrade. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty damn special. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those upgrades are and how it differs from other versions. I'll show you how this version of ChatGPT is going to make your life so much easier. I'll also go over the specific features that will make this ChatGPT an absolute game changer for you. So let's take a look. Now, before we dive in, don't worry, it's not going to be hella confusing and really overwhelming. It really isn't. I'll take you through the step-by-step process of getting everything set up, and we'll get you up and running in a matter of minutes. So as you can see, the screen looks very familiar. The option for the 3.5 or 4.0 used to be in the middle here. Now it's on the left hand side. And even though it says no plugins installed, I have actually got plugins, but I'm going to go into that a little bit later. So depending on what version you have, you'll click on this down menu here, and you've got a choice. You can either go for 3.5 or 4.0. So that's GPT 3.5 or 4.0. Now, if you're on 3.5, that's kind of like the free version, and you won't have access to a lot of the functions and features I'm going to show you in a minute. However, with GPT-4, you'll get access to DALL-E, browsing, and also analysis. And looking at this, it doesn't actually seem like a lot's changed, does it? But it really has. What you would still do is if you wanted to start a new chat, you would click on this icon here. If you want to go through the new features that ChatGPT has, you can just literally click on this open sidebar here, and it opens up. Now, all of your previous chats will be on the left-hand side here. As you can see, there's a new option that's called Explore. So if we click on that, it gives us so many more options that are new to ChatGPT. Now, in the old version, what you previously did was type in your message here, and if you wanted to do something else or use another plugin, you'd have to start a new chat. That doesn't happen anymore. It's now incorporated into the same stream or into the same chat. The main difference is, if we go back to Explore, you now have access to multiple GPTs that are specific to the project that you want to actually create. And the absolute game changer, and it's in beta at the moment, is actually creating your own GPTs. And as you can see, I've had a little play around with this already, but I'm going to walk you through step by step how you can create your own and how you can use it for SEO. Now, in the first instance, I'm going to show you the specific use cases of some of these chat GPTs. So let's have a look at the first one. The first one is DALL-E. So if we click on it, it opens up a specific chat GPT that's literally just going to deal with images. And you'll use it exactly the same way as you did before. The only difference is this GPT model is specifically for images. So if I type a prompt in here, something like, I don't know, a lemon going through space, just basically type that in and then just click on the send message or enter. It's going to work in the same way as it did before. It's now going to create an image based on just a basic prompt. And here you go. Here's the results. In fact, they're actually quite cute. So it gives you a brief description. Here are the images of a lemon traveling through space, complete with a vibrant cosmic background and a trail of sparkling stardust. So yeah, really quite cute. But click on these. So you can see what happens when you give it a basic prompt. It actually gives you a more detailed prompt. And if you click on this eye icon here, it gives you a full description of what it used in order to produce this image. And if we look at the second one, it's used the exact same prompt, but come up with a different image. And the way in which you use it is exactly the same way as you used it previously. So I can start adapting these images. So instead of a lemon traveling in space, I can add a spaceship. So the lemon is traveling through space in a spaceship. So let's have a look at that. And here's the results. As you can see, it's added a spaceship, but it's added a little alien in the spaceship as well, which I didn't ask for. But it gives you an example of what it's doing. It's using the same canvas as number 2, the image number 2, but basically injecting a spaceship in there. And a quick tip for you as well, if you're ever going to use any of these images from DALL-E 3, what you want to do is you want to name the image as the article name, but you want to use the description of this image as your alt tag. And to get that, all you need to do is just click on the little eye icon there, and it gives you a nice little description. Now, obviously, for your alt tag, you wouldn't use all of this description, but what you'd probably do is just use the first couple of sentences. So probably that, a whimsical scene of a lemon traveling through space. The lemon appears animated and has a cute, expressive face, giving it a lively character. You can use that as your alt tag. Now you can keep playing with this, or you can use another one. And to do that, all you need to do is just click on the new chat icon, open up your sidebar again, and then go to explore. And if you scroll down, there's quite a few other specific chat GPTs here. So if you've got this one here that says sous chef, I'll give you recipes based on foods that you love, ingredients you have. So let's try that one. Let's just say I've got beef, mushrooms, and a few onions. And let's see what it comes up with. So again, this is really cool. It's basically asking you some questions where you have any dietary restrictions or allergies. I'll just say no. And the last one, I'll just say simple. See, we could play on this all day. So what it's done is it's given us a recipe for beef and mushroom stroganoff. It's giving you the ingredients and it's giving you the instructions. Now, obviously, we could spend all day on this, but what you're really interested in is using it for SEO. So let's get into the meat of it. Now, before I get into using it for SEO, you're probably thinking that there might be some limitations with the new upgrade of ChatGPT. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I tried to produce my own GPTs, sometimes the instructions I gave it, it would get it wrong. And it would just simply forget them, which is freaking annoying. But the only thing I would say is you've just got to believe it's just going to get better and better and better as time goes on. Now, you've got two sections. You've either got my GPTs or you've got ones that are made by OpenAI. And if you want to use one of the ones you've done previously, you just click into them. But the new feature, and this is why you're here, this is why you're watching this video, the new feature, if you want to use it for SEO, is creating your own GPTs. And this is, like I said, this is a total game changer. So in order to do that, all you need to do is create a GPT. So you just click on this option here. And in essence, what you actually have is you have two AIs on the screen at the moment. You've got one that's basically your builder, and then you've got the second one that shows you a preview of what you've actually produced. And you probably notice this here, you've got two options here. You've got create, which is a GPT Builder, or you can actually configure one yourself by putting in the name, the description, and the instructions. And if you scroll down, you've also got these capabilities of either web browsing, DALL-E image generation, or the additional code interpreter, which you may have used before. Now, I'm not going to use this particular option in this video. I might use it in another video, but what we're really interested in is creating our own GPT from scratch. So we just click on the create button here again, and it asks us what we want to make. So the first GPT that I'm probably going to want to build is maybe producing schema for our articles. And the way you do this is you have a conversation, you know, just how you use ChatGPT previously. It's exactly the same way in actually producing your own GPT. So I'll just type in here, I want to create a schema markup generator, and click on send message again. Now what it's going to do, it's going to go away and it's going to start building what you've actually asked for. And what's really cool, it actually asks if you want to name your GPT. So you can name it whatever you want, or you can just use the option that it's actually giving you. And in this particular version, it's saying it's Schema Wizard, which is cool. So you just say, yes, that's fine. So even though we've asked it to create a schema generator, it wants us to set things up first for our GPT. So it's asked for the name. So we've actually said, yes, we're happy with the name. Now it's actually come up with a ChatGPT or a DALL-E 3 image. Again, we don't have to use this image. We can even upload our own image. But for the sake of the argument now, I'm just going to use the image that is actually presented to us. So just type in there, yes, this is fine. Click enter. And as you can see, it's replaced the icon with our little wizard logo. And now we're getting into the meat of things. It's now asking us specific instructions on how to build this schema generator. So it's asking if we've got an e-commerce site that we want to build it for, blogs, local businesses, events, or anything else. So we'll put on here e-commerce, specifically Shopify. So let's enter that. So the next question it's asking is how detailed does it want to go? And we'll just say it's for beginners. So just put both in there. The next thing it's asking us is what sort of tone should it use? And I would say, I don't know, casual will be fine. So let's send message. So the next thing it's asking us is if it should remember previous sessions or just start anew. And I'm going to say remember previous interactions and click send. Something's gone wrong. So let's regenerate. This is what I was saying, guys. This is in beta. And to be honest, it's quite overloaded at the moment because as you can imagine, everybody and his uncle is using ChatGPT at the moment. Okay, so that's finished now. So we've finished speaking with one AI and And we've got a second one, which is the preview screen. Now, this is the one where you construct what you want the GPT to be. And on the second one, this is the one that will give you the result that you actually want. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to dream up some FAQs for an article, and then we're going to ask it to write the schema for it. Now, ordinarily, you would already have your article done, but I'm just doing this for the sake of the example of this video. So what I've asked is, please write 4 FAQs on how a household could be more sustainable, and I can't spell sustainable. Click send. So what this is doing now is it's basically using the normal ChatGPT, and then I'm going to instruct it to write the schema code for these FAQ. Okay, so it's written the FAQs. Now let's ask it to write the schema code for this FAQ. So I'll just say, now write the schema code for this FAQ, and let's see what happens. Okay, so here's the finished article. And as you can see, if you're used to looking at schema, this is definitely schema code, but we're not 100% sure. So we need to check that everything's okay and correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this code, and we're going to go to schema markup validator and paste the code in there, just to ensure that the schema code that ChatGPT has actually spat out is actually correct. So let's run the test. And here's the result. So as you can see, there's no errors, no warnings, and this is the schema code you use for FAQs. So if we go back to ChatGPT, now if you're cheap like me and you haven't got a plugin for Shopify, what you'd do is you'd use this for your schema markup. So you'd write your article, and in the back end, in the HTML section, you literally just copy this code down and just place it in the back end of your article. So if you come back to the main screen, you can now see that the schema wizard is now available. So anytime you want to use that, anytime you want to do schema for your FAQs for your articles, all you need to do is just click on here, and it will give you that option. And all you would simply do is just post in your FAQs on this section here, and it will produce the schema code for you. But just on the safe side, just make sure you use something like validatorscheme.org to check through the schema to make sure it's correct. So really hope you're seeing just how powerful this is going to be. I can see people living in this part of ChatGPT. I know I'm definitely going to. And the great thing is you can either share your own personal GPTs into the public, or you can keep it private. I can see many content creators and a lot of SEO guys using this for different projects. Now, I know this is only basic, but I believe when you start having to play around with this, you're going to come up with a lot more ideas than what I'm showing you here. So the next thing we're going to try and do with this is build our own title generator. So go easy on me here, because it's going to be very, very basic, and it's not normally how you would do it, but I'm just going to show you the very, very basics of how to create your own titles for your articles. So we click on create again, and then we put in, we want to create our own title generator. So we're going to start with the basics again. We're just basically going to give it a prompt to tell it exactly what we're trying to do. And for this one, we want to try and create our own content titles, but I will provide, and I can't spell again, I will provide the actual keywords for this tool, so it can actually start producing titles from the keywords that I give it. So click on send message. So it's come up with the name as Title Genius. Yep, that's fine. Just type in yes. And then it's going to ask me to build the icon, or it's going to start designing the icon for our builder. So it's produced a little icon for us here, which is totally fine. Error saving draft, don't know what that means. But if you weren't happy with that and you wanted to for it to come up with another idea, you just ask for another idea, or we can even upload your own by just clicking on this little symbol here. But I'm okay with that, so I say yeah, this is fine. So click on send message, and don't forget, we're creating the actual builder on this side, we're creating the GPT on this side, and on the right hand side there's another AI that's building it in the background. So it's asked me what things it should avoid and what sort of tone and language we use. Again, I'm just going to say casual again, but for this you could say professional, you could say funny. It's completely how you want to design your own GPT. Should we just say casual? So in less than 5 minutes, we've set this up. We're going to create our own titles now from the keywords I'm going to give it. It's going to be a very, very basic version. Again, if you wanted to actually put more into this, you can do. Just for the sake of the video, I'm just going to show you a very, very basic version of this. So we're going to use a tool called keyword.io. And this is basically a long tail keyword research tool that I've shown you in another video. So we're going to put in the seed keyword as sustainable energy, click on search, and it's going to go away and it's going to find long tail keywords for us. Now, I haven't got an account, and if you haven't got an account, you can either set one up by putting your email and your password in here. I'm not going to do that for now. I'm just going to say no thanks. I'm going to click add all, and it's going to swap them, and it's going to put them on this side. Now, if I had an account, I could export all of these keywords, but I haven't, so I'm just going to So I'm going to very quickly get some keywords from this list, and then I'm going to go back into our GPT and see if we can actually start building some titles. So I'm going to copy some of these, put them into our builder. See, I'm not even putting in a prompt here. All I'm doing is just putting in the keywords. But what I will do is I will delete some of them that I don't think are relevant. Okay, so I've got a very, very basic keyword list here. Let's click send and see what it comes up with. So by rights, it should start producing some titles for us. And as you can see, what it's done, it's written a title for each one of these keywords. So take, for example, this one here, advantages of sustainable energy. It's written green power up, unveiling the top advantages of sustainable energy. It's used the second one, Alliance for Sustainable Energy, Eco Warriors Unite, how the Alliance for Sustainable Energy is changing the game. So you can see how this works. If I wanted 12 more, let's just put in 12 more in here and then click send. See how it's given us 12 more titles based on the original keywords that I gave it. So there are many other things that you can do with this. You can create logos, you can create infographics for your articles. And if the text isn't quite correct on the infographics, you can use something like Canva to grab the text and change it and just type out the right text it's supposed to be on those infographics. Now, as you can appreciate, we're in the very early stages of this. It's actually still in beta. I've just shown you a very basic version of this. When you start having to play with it, you can actually ask it to do a lot more than what I've just shown you in this video. But none of this matters if you don't write your content differently from other ChatGPT articles that are out there on the internet. And that's why you should watch this next video next, because I show you how to get ahead of all the other ChatGPT articles out there. So thanks for watching. My name's Des. Like and subscribe if you found this interesting, and I'll see you in the next video.